So wonderful participations. As I said, we had 890 registrations. Out of that, we have almost 300 participations. So Sunday being a learning day, a good response. I want to thank all the participants very patiently. Normally, the question answers is very interesting, interactive. So I would request all the participants to stay back. We will have 20-25 minutes of question answer, and we quickly will run. So I'll just take up the questions from Pramod Dwivedi, please. Okay, that's about the PPT. Yes, of course, the recording of this webinar will be available in the blog of Mr. Gopakumar, and also we'll be sharing individual to everyone. Mahesh is asking, is it chemical earthing is accepted as per the pollution control or statutory requirement?
Actually, this is a common question in almost all our seminars. There is nothing called the chemical earthing. It's an illusion. People think that by putting some chemical into soil, all the problems go to soil. There is nothing called the chemical, or you cannot improve your system by adding some chemical into the soil. Even if you achieve a 0.1 ohm, your system is not going to improve. System improvement has to be made with some other ideas, which we are always discussing. Please don't think that earthing and earth electrode are not the same. Chemical earth is just an earth electrode in soil. Earthing is a subject which is talking about the interconnection of different exposed and extraneous conductive parts of your installation, and finally monitoring the current and disconnecting the current without creating a shock or fire.
So Venkateshan is asking, I think the last two slides that shows it would have answered your question. Anyway, in this case, how many earth pits should we have, or how to determine the number of earth pits?
If you have a solar PV, rooftop solar PV installation, for the solar PV installation, you need a zero earth pit. You have to connect it to the incoming earth bus bar, the earth wire coming along with the phase and the neutral. You should do it. Zero earth pits are required for rooftop. If it is a, your question is generic. Now I cannot make a general answer. Now, if your application is for a large PV installation, land-based installation, then of course you need an earth grid interconnecting all the frames.
Swaz is asking, what is the difference between the PV SPD 3 and 4?
Yes, if the DC, the distance of the DC wiring is so long, then if it is more than 10-15 meters or sometimes 25 meters, and if it is put through plastic conduits, then you require one more SPD or additional SPDs on the DC side, sometime near to a combiner box, sometime near to a module. It all depends on the type of wiring which you are adopting.
Okay, Syed, Mr. Gopakumar will write to you separately on this question that you asked. I'm sure he will quickly do this today. Okay, I am not going to take any anonymous questions. It will only if you mention your name, I will take it up. Nathan Varadarajan, sorry. On my consultancy advice, to PSN Solar Energy kitchen appliances, Kadalur, just started 2 months ago. We initially go in for direct DC appliances for supplying boiled milk to rural through roadside tea shops. Please advise us whether we can go for directly connected SPV panel, taking care that the connections are shockproof by conventional earthing.
Actually, this question needs an evaluation. By simply making the answer, it may be confusing all the participants. The first one for shock, I understood that your application is some kind of a small heating application for roadside tea shops, but tea shop in that particular case, if the voltage is quite less, let's say 24 or 38 or some low voltage, in that case, the insulation and the situation is different. The shock is different. You can even go for an unearthed system. So it purely, the question need to be understood very carefully, and then only I can answer that. So I don't want to make a direct answer.
Okay, Sir Giridhar is asking what is the difference between IES and I think IEC, IES difference. I don't know what is. Hope you understand this question.
Mr. Dominic, one of the anonymous person, he has asked the question: if the lightning protection is connected to MET during lightning, high voltage will destroy the solar PV. That is what they asked. Actually, it is not correct. During lightning, we have to create an equipotential bonding system in such a way that there is no potential difference. If there is a potential difference, then only failure comes. So equipotential bonding must be very much accurate. Then the question regarding IS and IEC, of course, IS stands for Indian standards, IEC stands for International Electrotechnical Commission standards. IS standards are actually following IEC. So if there is an IS not available, we can refer IEC standards. So both are almost the same. Not almost, it is the same.
Sir Pradeep is asking, please explain, conversion equipment should be near to PV module or injection point?
It depends on the size of the system. Say, for example, if you are having a small rooftop system, then of course it can be closer. The inverter can be closer to the PV module. It all depends on the convenience of our, the place where we are going to install.
So
there is nothing like a thumb rule. There is nothing like a thumb rule saying that for this application it should be closer, this application it should be far away. The only point is if the DC is far away, then we should think that the double insulation rules shall not be violated.
Tamil Vanan is asking, sir, if both insulation get fail in double insulation method, what do you do?
People will die if the voltage is more than 120 volt, or if the installation can catch fire. Both can happen.
Again, anonymous, hope the same person is asking this question: how many solar panel and battery for three-phase line was the high kVA for solar panel?
Oh, actually, the question is not clear. We have to skip. Okay,
sir. So, Varghese, what will be the method of firefighting if the PV solar module get the fire in a sunny day? Inverter gets switched off and the grid go off. Firefighting method, you need to have an extinguishers, chemical extinguishing on the near the battery room. Is it asking for a battery inverter?
Actually, this has to be, we have to think it in two ways. One is the fire created in the PV system because of a fault. That can be handled by protective measures such as disconnection, isolation. Number two, if it has already, the fire is not extinguishable, in that case, we have to go for firefighting system, such as whatever the firefighting methods. So two subjects are actually distinct. One is avoiding the ignition of fire. Second one is after the fire, how can we make the system safe?
Same related question, Mallikarjun is asking, the use of insulated conduit for DC cables protection may increase the fire load on the rooftop. How do we overcome this?
That is also true, because if we use more and more plastic, more and more chance of smoke, which is again dangerous. Parallelly, you see, not only the double insulation, the other with respect to fire, series arc, parallel arc, and the earth fault. Now, if we look at very carefully, the PVC conduit or the traditional or the double insulation is for shock protection. With respect to fire protection, it is not the PVC conduit; it is the disconnection. So both the protective measures are distinct; they are not the same. We need both the protective measure. That is the point.
Okay, Snehash is asking, should AC and DC earthing should be bonded in solar plants or kept separate?
Actually, this is the common question which a lot of people ask. AC earthing and DC earthing shall be connected together or not? Please understand that there is nothing called DC earthing. DC means the positive and negative of the solar PV. Positive and negative, you are not supposed to earth any of these conductor unless and until the inverter manufacturer allows. Normally, the safety measure shall be made inside the inverter by the manufacturer. So forget about the DC side. Now on the DC side, what you have is the frame of the module. Frame of the module is not actually DC. We should call it as exposed conductive part. In a building, all exposed and extraneous conductive parts must be interconnected. So it is a problem of the question. Don't think that please forget about the DC side. It is not DC earthing. It is the frame of the module where the module is fixed. It is not DC. It is exposed conductive part. Exposed conductive part must be connected to the equipotential bonding system. DC side, of course, you should look at the inverter manufacturer's recommendation.
I think Rishabh, I think that answer that he gave related to your question also. So I'm going to skip this question. Okay. Sir Pramod is asking, my chemical storage area is 3.5 meters, width, breadth 4.5 meters, and height is 3.5 meters, and chemical storage of class A is 2.
No. This question is not related to solar PV. It is related to lightning protection. We will discuss it during the lightning protection class.
Okay. Debat Jyoti Mukherjee, instead of having double insulation in PV wire, still there is an insulation failure and arc developed. Need to understand the problem and how to resolve it.
Yeah. Mr. Mukherjee, so if this arc or if this fault is existing for a longer time, it catch fire. Longer time, maybe more than sometime 1 second or 2 seconds itself is dangerous. Now, you should find out the method of detecting this fault and the method of isolating this fault. There are different techniques involved. One of the technique is your AC and DC side are electrically separated or there is no electrical separation. So based on this first question, the second question comes whether it is functionally earthed or functionally not earthed. Then the third question comes, if it is functionally earthed, of course, you can disconnect the functionally earthed system. Better you switch off the system, you remove the functionally earthed system, you switch off your solar PV, you find out the fault, you rectify the fault, and then you put it into service. So these safety measures are very much documented in the respective technical books or the technical standards. You should actually follow those technical standards.
Okay, sir. Malikarjun is asking this, sir. The ground-mounted solar PV earthing system, as per the IEC 62738, it indicates 20 into 20 grid, or to be calculated as per a certain calculation. However, there is no reference provided for calculations requested to guide.
Yeah, you can. We are actually making this calculation. We are helping a lot of clients in making this calculation. I can send you a list of questions, and if you can answer the question, we can make it.
So, Malikarjun, you can write to Mr. Gopakumar. He will respond to you. Ramakant Sharma, what is the safe electrical separation distance between PV and lightning protection?
Oh, it depends on the on several factors: lightning protection level, the number of down conductors, type of insulation. Sometime in a multi-storied building, let's say 20-30 floors building, then probably 2-3 meters are required. Sometime in a smaller building, maybe 200 millimeter is required. It all depends on the type of the function, the parameters such as the expected lightning current, length of the down conductor, number of down conductor, type of insulation, and so on. So these calculations shall be made.
Erling, I think the answer is already now given. I will go to Jay Gupta's questions. We have 100 megawatt floating PV power plant over large water reservoir. What protection measure in terms of earthing and fire protection we shall look into beside another 100 megawatt land solar separately as well?
Yeah, actually, this kind of a system, we cannot make a generic answer. If we make a generic answer, probably the answer is wrong. we really need to understand the system. We need to find out the kind of topologies recommended or in the inverter manufacturer's catalog and all. Then we have to decide it upon. I would recommend not to answer this question right now. If you have any question, you can send your detailed email. Probably we will ask maybe 20 questions to you, and if we are clear about the system, then I can answer properly. Thank you very much for the question.
So Jay Gupta ji, please write to Mr. Gopakumar separately on this. So John Varghese, his earthing and ground are same. I think
Yes.
we did webinar on, I think that's available. Please have a visit our blog of Mr. Gopakumar, you will find the answer for that. So Vijay Malviya, GA earthing and copper earthing and aluminum earthing are earthing area. Please clarify. Again, it's on earthing. We have already done this. Please visit the our previous webinar. You'll get an answer. Okay, do courses. Someone has asked Gopakumar, can you do practical, seminar or visit their place and conduct classes for them? So we told them to write to you. There are many questions asked. How do you do practical classes for this? I think you can reply to Basil also. Based on the Basil Raymond, you can write to Mr. Gopakumar. His mail ID is already given here. So Puneet, what devices is best for automatic changeover when it comes to diesel generator, solar ACDB, and LT panel, which are interconnected, so it to ease the automatic changeover in safer way?
What device is best for automatic changeover? Oh, there are several methods available. So several changeover mechanisms are there. For example, starting with the mechanical, then nowadays semiconductor-based changeover systems are also available. It depends how much, what kind of, or what fast switching over you require, and how much money or how safe you wanted to make it. There are several methods available.
Okay, Lawrence Sarandraj is asking, in large size solar power like 300 kilowatt, how many earthing required for DC and AC side if SPD required for separate earthing strip?
Mr. Lawrence, we are not talking anything separate. Earthing in this particular case means your 300 kilowatt solar PV panels are mounted in a frame. These frames must be interconnected through a conductor, and this conductor has to be a buried conductor. It has to be buried in soil. That is your earth electrode. So finally, the frame, 300 kilowatt frame, which is on the DC side, the same conductor will come up to the inverter, and the inverter frame is also connected to the same grid. Along with the phase and neutral, the positive and negative, it is recommended to have one more earth conductor, but anyway, that is a different case. Then from the inverter upstream towards the transformer, we will ask the question whether the kind of network you are using, is it a TNS network, TNCS, or TT network? If it is TT, you have to connect the earth bus bar near the inverter to the earth electrode through the main distribution board. So if from your question, what I understood is you are asking how many earth pits, earth electrodes, vertical pipe or chemical is required in AC and DC side. I would say 0. You have to interconnect. Earthing means you are interconnecting the exposed and extraneous conductive parts to a common system. That is earthing.
Sir, Davies is asking functional earthing disconnections and human safety. Can you explain this? Do you have time to do that?
Sir, actually, we have made a lot of webinars regarding IT system. IT system means unearthed system. In an unearthed system, even if somebody touches a live conductor, there is no shock because there is no fault return path. In a functional earthing, for the purpose of stable operation of the system, a functional earthing is made. Now, the stable operation is destroyed or disturbed because of the fault. During the fault, you disconnect the functional earthing. As a result, fault return is not existing. And then the fault becomes a single fault, unearthed system. There is no fault current and the system is stable. So first you should understand the unearthed system, then you will be able to understand this.
Sir, unknown attendee, how can we calculate number of heartbeats for DC, AC, and lightning?
My God. Gentlemen, we are not talking about the earth pit calculation. Your question is still 30 years old question. Nowadays, no one talks about the earth pit. Please try to change your idea of this earth pit. If I would even make the comment that people, those who are still making the earth pit calculation, they are unfit for working as an electrical engineer. Sorry to say that.
I think what we will do is 12:40. There are a few more questions that we will answer to you one to one. Why I need to stop, because I need to tell you that I would like our Gopakumar to talk about very interesting, because now we had almost 300 registration. We should have spoken about the new society in India for the first time that we are going to launch very soon, and probably in next 25-30 days, for the electrical safety engineers. So I would like to Mr. Gokumar to talk about bit on that, so that the remaining people here understand about the society that we are rolling out.
Yes, one moment, let me open this.
Because in India, we do not have a platform or society that talks about electrical safety, or for the electrical engineers, a safety forum. So Mr. Gopkumar's a novel thinking that NFE, National Federation for Engineers for Electrical Safety, NFE, is going to be launched. More from Mr. Gopakumar on this.
Yeah, actually, participants, all these last 2.5 or 3 years after the COVID, the amount of work we combinedly doing, in the sense, myself, Mr. Appavu sir, the retired Chief Electrical Inspector of Government of Tamil Nadu, Mr. James Kuti Thomas from retired Electrical Inspector from Kerala, along with other experts, we were doing a lot of activities in online classes, then answering through WhatsApp groups, and making technical literature and so on. Mostly our programs, or mostly the effort which we are doing is it's not organized. It is going unnoticed, and sometimes we felt that a lot of requests came from the electrical engineers, from the electrical inspectorate. They are requesting to make a common platform so that all the technical issues can be discussed. As a result, we were planning to register a society. Of course, the registration is already over. Official announcement will come very soon. We are registering a society, not registering, already registered. National Federation of Engineers for Electrical Safety. This is a society. The vision of the society is to make, the nation electrical safe, and the people shall not die due to electricity, and we have to make the installation safe. The vision, mission, and the functions of the associations are already picked. One of the responsibilities which we are trying to do is, of course, training people, making the product more and more reliable. That means we have to the engineers from the manufacturers have to be educated about the latest and the modern standards, so that they can design and make test modern equipments. So with this vision, we have registered the idea. We will come back with official announcement very soon. We request the participation from each one of you, so that this association can be made, or we can make our own rules and regulations, and we can guide the whole the nation for a safe electrical installation.
Good. Thank you, sir. Let's see what NFE is going to do, and I would like everyone to be, coming forward to become a member of the society. Cedric, you raised the hand. I just Rajkumar. I'll just give, if it is less than a minute, I'll allow you to speak. Cedric. a question.
Good morning. Thank you very much for some very good discussion on that. Okay. Can you, Mr. Gopal, can you accept me on LinkedIn? I'm Cedric Almonte. I'm one of the QHSE manager for the first solar power plant in Qatar, and we have another solar power plant awarded for the Samsung. I have so I can chat with you privately, so we can work both together.
Oh, welcome, Cedric. I know Qatar now in festive mood for the football. I think after the football World Cup, probably you can get in touch with him. And yes, of course, he is an international figure now.
Yeah. My current previous project now is the first solar power plant in Qatar, and that will be utilized for the FIFA World Cup. We already adjust this one.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Welcome, so welcome. Mohammad Anis, you would like to talk last one? Mohammad Anis, unmute and you may speak. Okay, let's remove the link. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Sunday being a relaxed day with family, we have taken away your precious time, but I'm sure you would have enjoyed this session, and a lot of appreciation I could see in the chat. And it was a crisp and pointed presentation by Mr. Gopakumar and Cape. We love to see you again. I think next one, what we are talking about, how to do electrical audit. There are various type of audit that's happening in the country. Which one is the right? So we'll come back to you soon on the next session that's going to have, probably in the first week of December. We're going to talk about electrical auditing. This is more important subject for current installations. So thank you very much, sir. You have a wonderful flight to Philippines, and all the best for the IEC meeting. So I know whatever that you discuss, that knowledge again shared back to all the participants, and India is going to benefit out of this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dominic, and thanks for all the participants. Let's see you again next month. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Have a safe flight. Bye bye. Good day.